responsorial psalm here in this book. It says, "Lord, listen to my groaning," instead of, I think, what we said and repeated. But Lord, listen to my groaning. I wonder if that's really what it is that we do so well, perhaps from time to time, in asking God to be with us and help us so that we don't groan so much. This week, I think we are going to hear a lot of the scriptures telling us that we must live according to what we say and believe in our faith, that we might know that God is love and live in that love, that Jesus came to show us the love of the Father, and so that we too might be examples of God's love in our lives today. So all during this week, we're going to hear the scriptures that are reminding us of what this Eucharist is all about, to be the people of God, enjoying the gifts that God gives to us, as well as the presence of this community that will help us along the way as we help each other to live the gospel. We offer ourselves. We also want to be of service to God's people. And so we're reminded over and over again at the abundance of the graces that God bestows upon us. And we are called not to receive them in vain. We want to activate those graces that God, and gifts that God gives us. Throughout Jesus' preaching, we hear him continuing to show us the meaning of the Sermon on the Mount, declaring that we as Christians are called to a new lifestyle with regard to our prayer and our actions. The problem is that the busyness of the world today, the busyness of our lives sometimes really does drain us, so that by the end of the day, maybe our God and our prayer sometimes gets forgotten. But Jesus does know us and asks of us to always remain faithful, to remain faithful in love, despite everything else that might be at hand. My friends, Jesus is not asking us to deal with the great problems of humanity, but be caring. Be caring for the situations of our daily lives, our relationships in family, in community, and yes, in our society today. And yes, there might be conflict and sometimes tension, but we are seeking to follow in the Prince of Peace. To seek peace, we need to keep loving, and that is always what Jesus is doing. It's his way of life. He loves. He tells us, love always. The power of Jesus is love, and that's the trust of all God's graces. This, perhaps, can be our daily prayer. Jesus, you who loves me, teach me love like you. Jesus, you who forgive me, teach me to forgive like you. Send your Spirit, that Spirit of love, upon me. Brothers and sisters, let us make this prayer as often as we can, maybe spontaneously in the day today, whenever we know that we want to be turning to the Lord and in the help that God always gives us. Love and forgiveness and conviction that He loves us and fulfills that love, all in eternal life. Let us be inspired then that yes, we can be loved and show love to one another.